Hello everyone. Welcome to the second episode of the Tech Voice Talk. Today's episode is very special for the college students and the freshers who wants to pursue a good career in their software industry. Today we have a very special guest with us. Today we have a Jyothi Gopalan with us. She is having a tremendous 15 years of experience in talent acquisition and HR industry. She has been part of some top-notch companies such as Amazon, Flipkart, Microsoft, IBM, Intuit, and many more. And now she's running her own startup called Rising High, where she is guiding so many young talents by giving talent strategy and career counseling. Without wasting today's time, let's dive into the today's topic. So hi Jyoti, how are you?
Dharma, hi. Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. It feels great to be part of this discussion today. I'm really looking forward for some energetic discussions coming along.
Yeah, so Jyoti, a lot of questions we have for you, but then we can start with the first things first. How do we, apply for such big MNCs? What is the criteria, for resume building, and then ATS and many questions we have, but then let's take one by one each of these questions. Um, so
Right.
my first question for you would be suppose anyone, let's say me or Atharva, wants to apply for a big MNC, the ones which you have worked for, then what would be your, ideal approach uh, for the hiring perspective? I mean,
Okay, from the candidate perspective,
yes,
what
yes.
is it that they need to keep in mind, and what's the basic filtration criteria? That's what you're trying to ask, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So, Shivam, on an average, if there's in any of the internship or SD role that opens with these companies, the MAANG and the FAANG companies, nothing less than, lakhs of resumes that hit the ATS, right? So
Mhm.
it is humanly impossible for the recruiter on the other side of the table to keep screening those resumes. So there is an extremely stringent criteria, and the bar that one needs to really cross for this particular these range of companies is extremely high. One is, of course, you really need to meet the technical bar and the technical expectation. And second is the strategy. And third is the positioning, right? And apart from that, like everybody knows, there's a basic filtration criteria in terms of your CGPA, your percentage, and the pedigree of the colleges that you come in. But beyond that, these organizations also give opportunities to a lot of people who do not even come from the top tier organizations. They do open up internship opportunities across, but they are looking for some really fresh and raw talent which can exist, which is beyond the tier one colleges that they generally go for. So
Mm-hmm.
net what is important is how do you position yourself as a candidate? How do you build a strong portfolio? It starts with your journey, not just 3 to 6 months before your placements or the internship opportunity starts, but how you build in the last 3 years in your engineering journey. What kind of projects that you've got involved in? What has been your learning? What has been your course strengths across? How did you navigate through? What if you've been part of any hackathons, and what has been your key learning there, and why do you even be part of some of the projects? So overall, how you build your portfolio as a student matters the most, and you have a strong project, you've taken initiatives in multiple
Mhm.
groups or organizations where you've had enormous learning. You also have a very strong background in credentials. Now, these are some of the criteria that recruiters really look upon in your resume. And sometimes I've seen that even candidates from non-computer science background or
Mhm.
also getting selected, in fact mechanical background candidate getting selected for the
Right.
top-notch companies. It is possible provided you build a very strong portfolio and you strengthen, and it does not start with 3 months or 6 months of preparation. It definitely needs a very strategic preparation which starts at least year 1 or 2 years before itself. I know of students who are currently thriving at Microsoft or Walmart. They started the preparation 2 years ahead,
Mhm.
like going to the right reference material, studying the right content, planning, strategizing in all ways possible.
And
Yeah.
is this strategy differ from like for different companies, like for slightly different for the Amazon, slightly different for the Microsoft, or like how much it varies? If
Absolutely, there's not much of a difference, is what I would say,
mm-hmm,
because most often, be it any of these MAANG companies, they look for strong coding skills in a candidate, coding, good understanding of algorithms and data structures.
mm-hmm,
So it's fundamentally you really got to be strong, and beyond
mm-hmm,
that, the internship and the projects that you've done, what kind of learning that you've got there, and if you have actually implemented something on your own, have you done any pet projects, have you done any contributions beyond your current CV? In fact, I know of, I was talking to one of these candidates recently, and he's from a tier 3 college, but this candidate, he has taken 7 internship, all of them in AI and ML, and he's in his fourth year, seventh semester.
mm-hmm,
And that was like, wow, how did you do that? He went all out to go get those internship. He reached out to literally 500, research organizations, professors, asking them that I want to work in this project. Please give me an opportunity. And finally, he got this
mm-hmm.
opportunity, and now he's actually thriving in AI and ML. He's a part of my cohort. I'm really proud to see such students, right? Who go that extra mile to learn and to do
Right.
things. It's You cannot stay in the comfort zone, engineering, and then whatever is given on the plate, I just consume that and I go ahead. It doesn't work like that. If you want to be on the top notch, you have to go beyond what your comfort level says and explore things which probably is way higher expected.
Hmm.
So how do you
Correct.
raise your bar is important there.
Correct.
Yeah, so this is all about, profile building, I would assume. And, we have people who are contributing to open source. We have people, students who are strong coders. They have good profiles on code forces, lead code, and they do take part in, coding competitions as well. But then, when it comes to interviews, getting interviews, then at that time, getting selected through the ATS system or that application system. That is the major barrier which everyone faces. So,
Yeah.
what's your take on that aspect?
If your resume is it has the strength and potential. And second thing is keep it really simple. Your
Hmm.
resume will go through the ATS filter, and if your resume has lot of tables, lot of chunky materials here and there spread out, 100% chances that it gets automatically rejected, because it is like a map. You exactly position your resume and ATS reads it, your PDF document, and then it absorbs those fields and then it shows up. But if your resume is very cluttered, it's not simple, and there's a lot of things here and there scattered with icons and colors and whatnot, then automatically the chances of your profile getting rejected is very high. So keep it simple, keep it in black and white, and keep it there are two formats. One is a two-column format, and the other one is a simple step-by-step format. Starts with your name and then your summary, your skill set, and then your experience step by step. So
Hmm.
the second approach is something that is usually I recommend at all experience levels. They do say that once you have a higher experience level, you got to project the infographic resumes and all that. No, your ATS rejects that. So don't do all that. Keep it really simple, neat, readable, so that in a single scan within 6 seconds of the attention span of the recruiter, your resume should be able to grab that attention. That's the second level of screening from the recruiter. But first level is the ATS. The keywords that is there in the job description should at least be a very close match with your resume. And
Hmm.
if there's no close match, automatically it gets rejected. The way your resume gets positioned in the recruiter's dashboard is 90% match would get positioned at the top in a chronological order, and then starting with the ones, and then the ones which are like 25% and 30% below will automatically get rejected.
Oh,
Okay, and is these ATS work similar for the referral applications?
That's a good question. Absolutely. Just because you are a referral profile, it doesn't mean that you can skip ATS. Anything and everything has to go to the ATS god there. Okay.
Okay.
It does get
that's
filtered there. But yes, if it is a referral profile, it does carry that extra weightage because it's coming through an employee.
Mhm.
But irrespective, it goes to the same filter that it scans through just like all other candidates. It's only that once it hits the ATS, there are different sections like a generic set of profiles which have come through LinkedIn or career site, referral profiles that have hit. If one segregates that dashboard, one will be able to view profile, the other one will be able to view profiles which are non-referral profiles.
but then in both the cases, let's say we have, let's say you receive 100 applications. In both the cases, then whom would you prioritize more? Is it referrals or is it normal applications?
So let's say my day starts today, and I just start my day, and I want to look at the profiles that have come in. And it's not that I will prioritize referral first and then my normal profiles first. I see through the normal profile. That's the simplest dashboard that I see. And if I see that the profiles which are non-referrals hitting my dashboard are from top-notch companies, I allot my time like half an hour, screen those profile, and then
Hmm.
I also look at what are the referral profiles that come in
Mhm.
at a later point. Or let's say I get a nudge from my hiring manager stating that there are some referral profiles that have come in from my team. I think we need to prioritize that. Then probably I shift my priorities and I go ahead with referral profiles first. So it all depends
Hmm.
on what I prioritize for the day and which one looks more promising for me. If I do see that in referral profiles I'm really getting good chunk of candidates, I go ahead with that. But otherwise, if I believe after screening for a few profiles that there's not much of good quality coming in, then I shift my gears to the normal set of profiles,
Okay.
Hmm.
non-user profiles.
Okay. On LinkedIn, like we have seen some post related to that. So like some people suggest like rather than waiting for the referral, just if you saw the if any posting have like posted just few hours ago or a day ago, just go and apply for it. You might get a
Absolutely.
good opportunity rather than waiting for a referral. So like
Agree.
yeah.
That is true. Just go ahead and apply because,
Hmm.
if I do my job posting today and I give some 24 hours time to see what
Hmm.
kind of profiles are coming in, I'm more curious about the kind of profiles that are hitting my dashboard. So naturally, I do the posting today and then tomorrow morning, these profiles are early bird profiles hitting my database. I'll be more excited and it sits in a chronological order of the dates and the time that is it
Hmm.
hits the ETS. So naturally, I would probably pick up those early bird profiles faster,
Hmm.
but only when the critical roles which are not not really getting the right kind of profiles coming my way, then I really wait for days together. Then that time bound search does not really work. It has more to do with a very strategic search for finding the right candidate. However, for this volume based hiring or roles where we find a lot of profiles or candidates, then this approach of applying for roles in as early as possible, that really works.
So, but then there are, posts which are there since long. I mean, on LinkedIn or other job boards. But then referrals don't work that quickly. So, um, how do we prioritize referrals or this? I mean, directly applying to the career portals or then on LinkedIn. I mean,
One always, a referral doesn't guarantee you an opportunity for interview. We need to bear that in mind. Second
okay.
thing is, I'll give you a case study of a small, I'll give you an example of a small case that I came across. This candidate reached out to me 3 months back that he was so frustrated he was not getting calls.
Hmm.
And Even the placements were not really great happening in his organization, in his institute or the college that he studied. So it was a panic button for him that nothing is working. Then we had this conversation, and I told him the exact strategy and approach that he needs to take. One is that do not rely on referrals alone. Okay.
Hmm.
Reach out, for example, if I'm applying for a role in data science or AI companies, naturally I'll make a list of at least 40 to 60 data science and AI companies that I want to apply. It could be Accenture. Accenture has a very strong wing in data and AI sciences researchers. Go ahead and apply that. Figure out who is the leadership, who is the leader in that space. Reach out to them. Talk
Hmm.
about your credentials. Write an email to them on LinkedIn. Reach out to the recruiter. Reach out to the HR, or reach out to somebody who's just the next level. For example, you want to get in as an SD, and then you can reach out to one of the SD2s in that organization asking for help, but it asking for favor in the very first level that, hey, I came
Hmm.
across this opening, can you refer me? And that's very crude. Why would somebody want to refer you and waste your time, waste their time, right? I'm working on something, why would I waste my time? But if I really see that somebody has taken pains to draft a good email, giving their background, their credential, and also done a little bit of search and background about me, what I do, then that
Hmm.
actually interests me that, hey, this guy, this candidate has definitely taken some pains to understand my background and he is able to relate to me in my email, then I would definitely want to give some time and help that candidate by referring across. At the same time, just a blind referral does not work. It is important that the person who is referred would at least nudge and check with the recruiter that, hey, I have referred this profile and he comes with a very strong background and experience. Could you please
Hmm.
have a check?
Okay.
Just referral sitting in dashboard does not work because at a internship or at a college level, they probably get thousands of referral profiles. How would one really prioritize a strong candidate? A little bit of human touch is required. You need to nudge the right person there.
Hmm.
Yeah, doesn't mean influencing wrongly, but it's a reminder that
Hmm.
there's a strong candidate and I believe he has a good potential. Or maybe talk to the the hiring manager for that role. He can definitely nudge the recruiter and say that this is the candidate that I really want to see. He looks good on paper. Let's take it ahead. Then, it definitely gets prioritized beyond all the rest of the profiles.
But then, there are a lot of cases. People talk about, HRs reaching out to them, um, and you know, they are getting the interviews directly. So, what is that criteria, and how these people are being approached by the recruiting managers or the
Yes. So, in some of the cases where, let's say, a company ABC
Hmm.
is building an org for, we want to hire, let's say, around 300 freshers. This is for a organization which comes from travel. It could be the booking.com, it could be Amadeus, any of these companies. Then I am looking for candidates who come with some experience, some domain knowledge, some background in travel industry. Um, they could have worked on programming languages just like all other candidates, but some understanding of travel industry that will help in reducing the cycle time for me to onboard these candidates when they join my organization, freshers. So then I go to LinkedIn, I search for candidates with Java or C++ or .NET background with a keyword like this domain experience, like travel industry domain experience. And whosoever matches that filtering criteria, I reach out to them directly.
Okay.
That's
And
one of the
what about the big techs then? In that case also.
even there, what happens is whenever there are a set of roles that has come in, there is a projection that some set of candidates would be allocated to, let's say, a project which is on data sciences
Hmm.
or machine learning. Some set
Hmm.
of internship roles are open across for cybersecurity roles, some in network security roles. In which case, I go ahead prioritizing or searching for candidates who have some experience around those domains. That is still okay. That it's not in a hard and fast rule, but if I do find strong candidates who have worked in data sciences domain or cybersecurity, it's a great win for me rather than a candidate who comes with a generic experience. And probably the amount of time that it takes to onboard such candidates and then start being productive and start delivering will take a longer time.
Hmm.
For
True.
me, an ideal match should be someone who probably already has that experience, and it's a great way to onboard one such candidate. So
Hmm.
there's this candidate who did his ML project, and he did his internship across, and then he was reached out by one of these MLAI companies. It was an easy go. He already had an experience, so it was easy for him. Now he got offered, and he's joining them soon.
Okay. So as you mentioned here, like filtering based on the keyword. So
Huh.
for that filtering, what exactly process in the backend happens? Like if someone adding those things in their summary or the project, so like which section of the LinkedIn they should keep updating to get it filtered out?
Exactly. Now, there are three important sections.
Hmm.
Okay. One is the skill section. Your About Me summary speaks about, it's a five-liner, six-liner snippet,
Hmm.
which speaks about exactly in five, in a paragraph, what is your background. For
Hmm.
example, um, hi, this is Jyothi. I am
Hmm.
Hmm.
studying Triple IT Hyderabad and I have done my project across and so and so. I
Hmm.
also have my course completed and so and so. Apart from this, I'm an active contributor on Lead Code with this ranking. I've also done my pet projects in data sciences in GitHub. And here's my portfolio link. Simple. And
Okay.
then the skills. Under each of these organizations, right, the experience that you put across, there is a skill bucket which you can match on LinkedIn. It allows you to add a minimum of five skills when it comes to the About Me section. And these five skills are the priority skills. Let's say you add microservices, software architecture, and then you add Java, and then you add API, and then you add SQL, then automatically it shows up the moment the recruiter searches for those profiles from the
Hmm.
recruiter's LinkedIn license. Then these profiles which have the right skills, which is tagged to the candidate's profile, automatically shows up in the priority order on recruiter's dashboard, LinkedIn dashboard.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
skills,
Skills.
the right skills and
Hmm.
tagging the right skills on the profile is extremely, extremely essential. And that it should be in
Okay.
the order of the priority.
Okay. No, that's a new thing I learned today. I think this the
Yeah.
skill section was one of the like I think the underrated section on the LinkedIn profile. Yeah.
Yes, and also your experience. It is not just about skills.
Hmm.
When you write your experience, right, your experience should show up those keywords that you've used. I remember a candidate who actually had mentioned all the skills in the skill section, and he said, "Ah, I've anyways mentioned it in the skill section."
Hmm.
Buddy, but you have to show where is it that you've used in your experience section of the organization that you're working with. Example, you use Java, and then what in Java?
Hmm.
And microservices. Have you worked on HLD? Have you worked on LLD? Have you worked on APIs? Have you used, what
Hmm.
kind of databases? That is important. And the second most important thing that I've seen candidates is writing textbook content on resume, responsible for um, building features. Full stop.
Hmm.
That doesn't build any impact. So you need to, there's a format called XYZ, XYZ.
Hmm.
What is
Hmm.
it that you did? How you, what is the impact or the metrics and how is it that you achieved? Example, built a booking feature on over app, which
Mm-hmm.
resulted in 25% optimization in booking
Mm-hmm.
using so and so technology. Simple, but it's
Right.
very powerful. I have seen even candidates with 25 years of experience missing this essential elements and using very generic keywords, which doesn't really build that impact when a recruiter sees the resume.
Right. Okay, that's good. So we'll move to the like next topic. So you have been interviewed many candidates right now. So like, what are the like common mistakes like candidates do while in this entire process while interviewing or the like the phone interview and
Um,
all the things? Yeah.
I actually love this question because this is really a question close to my heart. I've seen the
Mm-hmm.
best of the candidates getting rejected because they're not aware of this aspect. I'll tell you how.
Mm-hmm.
One, I'll give you a small example that will help you relate. There's a candidate who took an interview and then he cleared the interview. The question was given. He did not clear the interview, I'll tell you, but he got the right output. The question was given, the coding question was given. He took 45 minutes, he got the output, and he's like, wow, I got the output. He showed the output,
Mm-hmm.
and then, okay, done. Few questions, and then he answered those questions, okay, done. But then the result of the interview was reject. He was
Okay.
very furious. He got
Huh.
the right output, but
Hmm.
why did he get rejected? Now the question is for you, Atharva. Why did he get rejected?
Maybe he kind of like mugged up that question previously and he just go with the flow and like not interested much in explaining the approach and like what understanding problem solving approach he followed.
Absolutely, absolutely. See, I understand that, most of these questions are from platforms like Lead Code, correct?
Mm.
So it is fine that we practice these questions, but
Hmm.
understanding these questions, understanding the approach and logic is very important. It's
Right.
never about output. I'll tell you, candidates have got the wrong answers, but these are the ones who got hired for the MAANG
Right.
companies. And why?
Right.
Because the moment a question is given, you don't
Mm-hmm.
just jump to solve the problem. You
Hmm.
treat the interview as a real time discussion with your client. You ask them the right questions. So this is what I understood. Example, it could be a pizza ordering system, and then you ask them. So this is the question is on pizza ordering system, and as I understand, these are features that I'm looking for to build, and this is the assumption that I'm going to make. Take some time off,
Hmm.
and then think about the logic of the solution for the problem. Go back to the panel and explain them that here is what I think, and this is how I plan to solve the problem, and this is the approach I'm going to take. And after that, start building on your solution. Once you have a
Hmm.
solution built in, go
Hmm.
back again to the panel, explain them the approach, explain them the logic, and
Hmm.
do a due diligence, right? Check if you close the edge cases, the null cases, the corner cases. Is it an optimal code? So you have to ensure that you write a neat code, ensuring all the right parameters are well covered, and then you go back to the panel. Now they are not
Hmm.
there to give you a thumbs up or thumbs down. Are
Hmm.
humans who have grown
Hmm.
like you, so they want to see
Right.
if you're putting in the right efforts and they really want to see your approach, your effort,
Hmm.
and derive at the right solution, they'll ask you questions. Why did you use this database? So you need to have the right answer, or why this data structure, why heap, or why linked list when you could probably have solved it in an array. So you need to have the right logical approach to that. It's not
Hmm.
about, mugging up an answer and then writing that code and thinking that you'll be selected for the MAANG companies. It doesn't work like that. You've got to know why, how
Hmm.
approach, and only these candidates are the one who make it to the final cut.
Right.
Yeah, that is one. And second is your
Hmm.
question to, when the recruiter calls, candidates don't get selected despite having the great resume. I'll give you a classical example. One
Hmm.
of my client, he had around In a short duration of time, he got around 7 interview calls. We reworked on the resume and really told him that this is what you got to work on, and he did a splendid job. Outcome, he got 7 interview calls, and then
Hmm.
first 3 interviews were from the best and best of the companies. He
Oh.
flunked those interviews in the very first call, that is the recruiter's call. And then
Hmm.
at next day he had an interview and he calls me at 7:30. I'm really very distressed. I don't know what to do. In the
Hmm.
very first call, I'm not able to make it. Now, okay, let's restart. Assume that I'm the recruiter and you're the candidate. Help me understand about yourself. What is that you do? He
Hmm.
started with going about round and round and round. Okay,
Hmm.
starting with the very first organization that he worked with, and then again jumping back to the projects that he's worked in, and then going back to the technology. No, that's not how it has supposed to be.
Hmm. Hmm.
The first 5 minutes of your conversation with the recruiter, it decides whether the recruiter wants to hire you for the position or not. I mean, take your
Hmm.
head for the interview loop or not.
Hmm.
Example. Hi, this is Jyothi. Thanks for this opportunity. I carry over 4 years of experience in software development, primarily in Java, core Java technologies,
Hmm.
and I also expertise in building applications, scalable applications on finance and insurance domain.
Hmm.
And in my recent past, I have achieved or have built sources of features. I'm really looking forward to contribute more in this, and really excited to work with let's say ABC company. So it should be a full-fledged answer. It should start with your recent experience and what is it that you're doing currently. Currently, I'm working with
Hmm.
XYZ, where I'm responsible for building social features using social technologies. In my recent assignment, I did this because of which we achieved this impact or this metrics. I also hold exposure to other technology stacks. Simple.
Okay. So in short,
It's just
keep the whatever you are having in to be precise manner rather than just
very precise.
adding
Yeah.
on.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, it's not required. Keep it
So yeah,
crisp. Keep it crisp and keep it to the point that within a few sentences they should be able to grab that this is
correct.
what this candidate holds
Hmm.
expertise in. Yeah. Otherwise, it is like we maybe as HRs we talk to roughly around 15, 20 candidates a day. And the moment they start jumping into projects, even without giving the right background, we kind of lose our attention there. And we actually listen carefully that, okay, when is he going to come to the point? When is he going to come to the point? And the moment he doesn't, we're like, okay, all right, so no worries, I'll come back to you. Thank you so much for that.
So yeah, so like in like today's time period, so like everyone is doing DSA, everyone is doing certification projects. So how can someone differentiate or like stand out in this big crowd? Like how can he differentiate in this and like put a spotlight on himself?
See, I know that I believe I've given some of the case scenarios, right?
Hmm.
Um, 5 years down the line, the world is AI is impacting big time, and
Right.
most of the technology stacks are moving towards
Hmm.
data sciences, machine learning, cybersecurity, and networking. These are the
Right.
skills that is going to show up big time. And the programming language, which had a lifespan of 5 years back then, it's
Hmm.
just come down to less than 18 months, even less than that,
Hmm.
roughly 1.5 years. So
Hmm.
it's easy. Pro- you ask AI to build a project,
Hmm.
it will do it for you within seconds. So chances are, I mean, it's already proven that you get obsolete over a period of time. You need to keep upskilling yourself.
Hmm.
So my strong recommendation is, um, you know what is in for future. Be aware, be thorough, be have a good
Hmm.
understanding of where the future is heading to. Upskill yourself in those technologies, not just upskill. Having a
Hmm.
certificate doesn't give you any value add. Have you implemented anything out of that? So
Hmm. Hmm.
go take up some pet projects or assignments. I know a lot of Upwork. and a lot of other platforms where people are looking for somebody with your kind of expertise. So pick up assignments, even if it means just for the sake of experience, you want to pick up that assignment. Go ahead, pick up that as an assignment, work on that. I know these students, a couple of my students who worked free for AI companies remotely outside India, and they have that experience now. Their resume is so strong, so strong.
Hmm.
They work for 3 4 months for remote companies outside India, entirely on the machine learning space, working on LLMs. Now, that
Hmm.
experience makes them, it takes them way ahead of the crowd of lot of the other candidates in the poll. So vis-a-vis somebody who comes with a generic experience and somebody who's already specialized, it takes them like 3 to 4 years ahead of the queue. So any day, I would recommend students or candidates to keep an eye on what is working for them in future, rather than
Hmm.
just sitting on where they are. So there's a proverb, right? Sitting ducks will
Hmm.
always be sitting. They'll never be able to go ahead.
Okay.
You need
So
to
like,
walk.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the same topic, so like the differentiating ourselves. So is digital portfolio or the like GitHub account impacts more over the traditional CVs?
That's actually interesting. I would
Hmm.
love to. In fact, I remember hiring for IBM a
Hmm.
diversity candidate who had very strong GitHub credentials. I love to source on GitHub and Stack Overflow. It gives me a different dynamics about the candidate. Now, LinkedIn is it's more or less your digital footprint and your resume. The GitHub portfolio or your Stack Overflow portfolio. Now, these are the ones which actually are your coding proof, the
Hmm.
kind of work that you've done.
Right.
So it's wonderful if I've seen candidates with just one GitHub contribution adding. No, it cannot be like that.
Hmm.
You need to have some projects, some solid credentials on GitHub, which you want to put just for the sake that you want to build a portfolio and you want to contribute something. It doesn't make any sense. Have a good, project that you've contributed well and be consistent across, and then
Hmm.
have that on your resume or your LinkedIn page. Otherwise, it's of no use. And I know for sure that recently IM was doing one of this research on the worth and value of
Hmm.
portfolios on GitHub.
Hmm.
And they found that it's extremely important because it is a solid proof of your worth, of your work authentication that you've built on these platforms.
Right.
So, wow, when it gives you the platform to build yourself, why not go ahead and build that?
Right. So I think we'll move ahead. So yeah, so now everywhere like the AI is trending, right? So what your take on this, like the role of AI in the hiring? So like what you want to speak over?
Yeah. So AI is drastically shifting the way we used to work
Mm-hmm.
earlier in
Mm-hmm.
recruitment.
Hmm.
We had talent sourcing, we have recruiters, we have coordinators. Now, with AI coming into picture, that time that it takes for a profile to navigate different between the TS and the recruiter, the coordinator is actually reducing quite a lot. In most of the organizations, there's just one person. It would be a team of 50, 60. Now it's just reduced to just 18 or 20 folks,
Mm,
big organizations. So the AI does the job of
Mm-hmm.
screening the profile, getting a curated list of candidates for a particular role. And
Hmm.
all that the recruiter needs to do is this, and then it gives a percentage match of the candidate's profile with the background of the job description. It's a
Mm-hmm.
great to go. Then, the next set of calling the candidates, screening the candidates, even that is being done by AI right now. You never know. There's an AI sitting on the other end, and there's a call that comes in, and it
Hmm.
exactly talks the way just like how a recruiter would talk to you. But still, human empathy factor is something that it
Hmm.
cannot pick up. But however, even the interviews, the recruiter interviews have been taken by AI.
Hmm.
So it's very, very difficult to even figure out whether it's a human or an AI which was actually interviewing. So
Hmm.
the best way to beat that is position yourself rightly, your resume, your LinkedIn. and your conversation skills. When I say conversation skills, the way you articulate your answers and the way you interact, or because there's less in human intervention now at the very first, you got to have a very foolproof candidature, your profile if it needs to go further. So even to an extent that there are platforms which are bringing a lot of psychology along with the candidate's resume, they also are predicting based on your social footprint if this candidate is what is the strength of this candidate in terms of the previous project, or let's say you've been posting a lot of content on social media like LinkedIn.
Hmm.
Basis on that, it gives you a personality assessment about a candidate. What sort of candidate does he bring bias, and what are his key strengths, a little bit of personality or the personal elements about the candidates as well, basis on what is seen on the social media. So, and there are a lot of companies which is doing big time, and these are research companies. So it's really changing the way we function as a generic recruitment platform to actually using AI and intelligence wherever possible in analyzing a strength of a strong candidate, whether this candidate is a potential fit for my organization, or he's just another candidate who is looking for another offer, and chances are that he might drop out after probably investing a year's time. So you got to be really alert about these nuances.
Okay. So yeah. So today we are coming with a new segment for this podcast. So this is a rapid fire questions. So we'll without wasting time, we'll just start it. So like the
Yeah,
first
sorry.
question was like, if you have three candidates, one is like he is excellent in the data structures and algorithm, like having good ranking in the like good coding platforms like lead code. Second person is having good like good decent experience with some who is extremely like engaging on the platforms such as LinkedIn, like keep on posting about his like ongoing activities and all those things, and contribute in the like blogs or something. So which candidate do you prefer, or you can rank them?
It's a very interesting question. Nothing like being on LinkedIn at this point in time. I will tell you, like most of the opportunities that I've got in the last 1 year, I've not approached anyone. It's all
Hmm,
through LinkedIn.
hmm,
So if I see that somebody is contributing highly on LinkedIn and who brings in that expertise and who writes blogs, which means they are really SMEs in that subject,
hmm, hmm,
it
Hmm.
gives an understanding that they're expert and SMEs in the subject and they really understand the subject well. So my first go-to person is the one who is there on LinkedIn. Of
hmm,
course, I would definitely want to deep dive and see on the areas that he brings expertise in, and if it is really relevant to the um, opportunity that I'm hiring for, then I would love to go ahead and look at the candidate first on LinkedIn. And
hmm,
second is the candidate on strong on lead code, data structures, algorithms, and has a good portfolio.
hmm, hmm.
Um, I'd still recommend it, buddy. Come on LinkedIn, showcase your talent there.
Right.
And third one is average candidate certifications. Certifications do not matter to me at, at all unless that is put under for implementation. You hold a
Mhm.
certification, but if you've not done anything out of it and it's just for the certificate for the heck of it, doesn't matter.
Right.
So I
Hmm.
would only prioritize this LinkedIn candidate first. And second is this candidate who has a substantial proof of his work.
Mhm.
That is all.
So yeah. So second question was like, Chat GPT written resume, a red flag or a smart move?
I would say red flag.
Why?
Honestly,
No.
red flag. I can give you tons of those resumes right now,
Hmm.
Mhm.
which is exactly curated by ChatGPT. But unless you have that human intervention, because there is a formula that you need to apply in your resume. Just ChatGPT writes something, and maybe you train it also, it doesn't really work. I literally sit for 3 weeks with my clients
Mm,
with at least 3 to 4 sessions until we come up with the right resume. Your
mm,
ChatGPT helps us structure, it gives its suggestions and recommendation, but there is a lot of input that comes in from the candidate, his experiences, and how does he want to bring up those experiences in the resume. So a pure ChatGPT resume, curating your resume is, I would say, like it's BS. 80% of no, no, don't do that.
okay.
Spend your time on your resume, write
Mm,
down your experiences, bring in those keywords that you use. Example, you're applying for data engineer roles. What are the different technologies that comes
mm,
in data engineering?
mhm,
It could be Azure Synapse, it could be the data pipeline, it could be streaming technology. There are a
mhm,
lot of things that comes into pictures. Bring out those experiences and then add that in ChatGPT to build your content on the resume and then curate your resume. But you have a JD and you have nothing, maybe something in your resume, and you say match the JD and the resume and write a resume. That
No,
doesn't
that
work.
is wrong. Hmm.
Like literally 3 to 4 weeks to come with one strong, solid resume,
mhm.
which gets you at least good 7 interviews in the next 1 month. That is the way we work.
Makes
And
sense.
that's how you've got to put your efforts.
Correct.
So, what would be your dream candidate? In 3 words, you can mention.
Dream candidate. Actually, it's not about dream candidate, but I am so amazed at the potential of Gen Zs right now.
Huh.
So amazed even when I'm just as I'm hiring, I've worked with candidates with lateral hiring, mid-level career up and
Hmm.
leadership level roles.
Hmm.
But the recent experience that I have talking to Gen Z students or candidates, enormous. They're so way ahead. They want to do a lot of things and they're amazing. They're always thinking about building something new.
Hmm.
And how do I do that? Equipping, upskilling, and going beyond. If I honestly have to tell, they are almost much ahead of most of the already tenured engineering folks. I'll tell you one experience. And I told you this candidate who did 7 internship.
Yeah.
There's another candidate who has like only ML and AI experience, all through remote internships with companies
Mhm,
outside India as well as within India. That's like amazing.
mhm,
And I there's one candidate whom I interacted with while I was at Amazon. He was this was during the COVID time, and this candidate was still in college, final year college, and he had applied for SD2 role.
mhm.
And for an SD2, the experience level is
Right.
roughly around 3 years. Can go up
Hmm.
to 7 years,
Yes,
sometimes
Right.
8.
true.
But this guy had applied, and I was amazed at his profile. He had started building up his own company from his second year of engineering. And just and I was very curious to see what he's up to. And then I gave him a call. We had the first level of recruiter screen. I was like, oh my god, amazed at the experience, the clarity that he brings in, the technology understanding. He was already talking about scalability, high availability, latency. And I was really, really shocked and amazed. And that's when, I went ahead and I gave him chance for the interview.
Mhm,
Put
Hmm.
him across the interview loop where they're already experienced candidate.
hmm.
He came out successful. He
Right.
raised the bar for all the rounds of interviews. And then
That's interesting.
uh, we offered him
Really?
as well. We
Mhm,
offered him as well, and he actually did not take up the offer because he had some other aspirations. And then that came out clearly during the discussion. And I met him just last month. He's now the CEO of Algo University in Manas, Kumar Verma, one of those candidates. And these are like, I don't get to meet such candidates often.
mhm,
Maybe once in a year, but they are like amazing ones. He's the even part of this also. Amazing, amazing potential. And I see most of the students now that
Mhm.
I'm talking to, they bring in with that kind of potential. I'm really happy that it's heading in that direction.
And one more question. So, while we are filling the application or applying on the portal, so does cover letter make any difference, or is it just resume?
Uh, on portal,
Yeah, or anywhere.
on
Let's
career
say
site?
when
Yeah,
we
we're doing
provide the
in
cover letter
applying
as
for
well.
any application.
An email, right? If you're writing an email
Hmm.
Mhm.
or an email, a small brief about yourself, and then a proper reach out email matters the most, right? I've spoken about it earlier. So a good reach out email is important. That that doesn't mean that it's a cover letter. It's an introduction about yourself, the background and capabilities that you bring in, and why you're looking or applying for this role. Simple as that. And it doesn't necessarily mean a cover letter, just a
Mhm.
strong, good reach out email. And that you also done some study about the person that you're reaching out to on LinkedIn.
Hmm.
It should not be random email or email reaching out the inbox.
Any advice in the last you want to give for the like young people who's watching this?
So, my this advice or my suggestion would be that connect with people, network, have the right mentors in place, because if you think that you're just at one place thinking that you're doing all right, you
Mhm.
don't know the world is catching up and there are a lot of things happening around. Build that awareness, network, go out,
Mhm.
explore, understand where is the world moving next,
Right.
and build that awareness in yourself, and don't be comfortable. If you're
Hmm.
comfortable with where you are, you'll realize that the world has moved much ahead. So
Right.
keep learning, keep
Hmm.
innovative, be curious, and equip yourself with what is essential for future. It's world is not how it used to be 3 years back.
True.
It's
Right.
moving at a very faster pace that you never thought. Most of the jobs now, which are existent, will probably be non-existent within no time.
Hmm.
So, how do you have
Hmm.
to catch up with that? It's a big question mark. It's
Hmm.
still a question mark in a lot of the minds, but you'll have to learn and figure it out.
Thanks. So yeah, so this was like incredibly insightful session, and like we are very pleased that you like give your valuable time here. So like very thank you for this session.
Thank you, Tarwa, and thank you, Shivam. It was a wonderful discussion. I loved your questions, very thoughtful and really made me think. Thank you so much. And
Yes,
thanks for
thank
this
you.
opportunity. It was wonderful interacting with you folks. Thank
Yes,
you.
please reach out to her profile and be a part of her cohort as well. So yeah, thanks for the having her. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
I also want to add that we are coming up with a
Hmm.
okay, a little bit about my organization at Rising High. So we help students in colleges as well as mid-career professionals and leaders. We are coming up, starting just over the next week, wherein we are launching a cohort primarily for engineering students to be industry ready, because I've seen there's a huge gap between what students bring and what is the industry expectation. So,
Hmm.
Hmm.
uh, starting that cohort from next week, anybody willing can definitely reach out to me on LinkedIn directly, either through a message. My profile is open, so even if you don't have a premium account, you can reach out to me. Or
Hmm.
mid-career professionals or leaders seeking for help can surely reach out to me through my LinkedIn page. Happy to help you further.
Yes, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Take care. Bye.